if you listen on an iPhone, you probably hear the drums because I boosted the hell out of them clearly. Ladies and gentlemen, kids watching, I don't know if I agree with this, bro. I don't know what I was on in July. All right. Oh, part two, man. Um, this is a continuation of a video I literally made earlier today. It should be released though, where I broke down the sample for this beat. Now we're gonna get into the drums. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play up to the first 16, and then we're gonna talk about the drums, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the same 3 patterns. It's the same. So without further ado, let's get into it, man, right away. Let me start off by saying that in July, because this beat is in July. Actually, this is an older beat. So in July, I'm trying to put you guys in the frame of mind that I was in around this time. So around this time, I'm listening to 70s, 80s, 90s music and noticing that the panning and like the arranging of where stuff is at in the stereo field, like in the headroom, is way more obvious, right? So, I decided that maybe I should look into that a little bit more. So I'm listening to, fast forward later in July, I'm listening to modern music, right? You know what I'm saying? You listen to Gunna, you listen to whoever, the normal people that y'all listening to, man. Listen to them, and I'm realizing, okay, there's still stuff being panned. There's still stuff being moved around and placed in different pockets and different spots. And I'm also thinking about how things are level and sitting, because like I said, I'm listening to 70s music. You can definitely tell when the bass player was all the way in the left of the room in front versus the piano guy being on the right and kind of like somewhere in the mid. Like you can literally tell. So that changed how I decided to mix things, and that also bled into my drums. So that's number one. So let me go ahead and go into pattern 4 real quick, and then we'll talk about it. The other thing is, I don't know if I did it in this beat, but I started, you can see I panned the hi-hats a little bit, just a teeny bit. But I started to not only get into panning things and leveling things a little differently, but I also got into layering snares, or layering a snare with an open hat, or layering a snare with something, messing with the swing knob to get it, you know what I'm saying, more of a bounce, more of a groove. So you can see how listening to the older music started to influence how I thought about arranging drums and things of that nature, right, and music in general. So that's number 2. Now the third thing, and I'm going to play it because I've been yapping. I mean, it's your standard trap drums, bro. Like, it's nothing special about the trap drums themselves. Like the sound selection, I should say. There's nothing special about the sound selection. But I think why I decided to do a part 2 instead of just doing the sample was because even though I'm focusing more on samples now than drums, because I'm not that confident in my drums, and quite frankly, I'm just going to be real, I don't really care about getting better at my drums as of right now. I've been more locked into analog gear, pedals, creating glitchy sounds, granular sounds and stuff like that. I'm more interested in that, so that's what I've been focusing on. But what I do try to do with my drums, maybe not with this beat specifically, is try to do something unique and have a unique bounce with my drums. Not only that, I also think about arranging, right? So you can hear how all I have is a hi-hat, a snare, and the 808 for the first 4 bars. Then we get here. Let's go to this pattern. Without hearing what the sample is doing, you can probably guess where we're at in the song for the most part, right? I got more hi-hat hits, I got more rolls going on, the snares hitting more frequently. You got your open hats are added, you got the little Taco Bell sound. I love that Buddy named it the Taco Bell perk. Anyway, you got that triangle in there, right? And at this point, without even hearing the sample, like I said, you can tell like, oh, this is signaling that there's more energy in here. This is probably the hook. So that's the main thing I wanted to focus on with this breakdown real quick. I wanted to keep it short where I'm just focusing on how the drums shift. So I'm gonna just play the drums by itself. Got the intro, the hook, then watch how the bounce change. Added a kick. It's the same pattern as pattern 4, but with extra hi-hat hits, just a little bit extra hi-hat hits. And then, like I said, I added a kick. Where you at, baby? Where you at? Where the kick at, man? Yeah, I added a kick. That's pretty much it. It's the same as pattern 4. Along with, like I said, listening to certain music, I've been also thinking about, or not thinking about, but listening to things that Metro produce, which I underappreciated Metro. Everybody's like a huge fan of Metro. I'm not that big of a fan of Metro, but I appreciate his production skills. He knows how to storytell through his beats and arrange through his beats, or like give the artist what they need for the beat, right? Listen to a lot of Gunna, like even in his beats, there's times where maybe the melody doesn't have a crazy switch up, but the drums do something different. Either a kick is removed and then added somewhere else, a kick is shifted, a hi-hat is replaced with a perk that does something, there's a roll here, there's some slight variation that keeps you listening and then changes the energy slightly. So that's all that really is with this beat, man. I just decided to play around with that a little bit more in this. As far as the sample goes, go check out the last video. I'll break down the sample there. Mixing wise, I think I did damn near absolutely nothing for the drums. The only thing I did was boost the kick, and then I turn around and boost all the rest of the drums again. If you listen on the iPhone, you probably hear the drums because I boosted the hell out of them clearly. So that's something I've been doing recently. It's just taking the low mids and just boosting them up, right? As far as the bass goes, there are 2 limiters. There are 2 side chains going on. Why? I don't even know. That's for the kick. What's this for? The drum. Ladies and gentlemen, kids watching, I don't know if I agree with this, bro. I don't know what I was on in July. And then it sounds like I really didn't sidechain or duck anything. That kick smacking. I could turn the kick down if we being real, but that's neither here or there. I wanted to focus more on the pattern and why I did what I did with it. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, hey, trap drums, hey, yo, hey, yo. I'm done, bro.